Ladies and gentlemen, this is a party political broadcast by myself, Maitre Mola Alex Ndive Lee Singer, the leader of BCNP. For the past days, I've been looking up the skies, looking up for divine intervention, and it has all boiled down to one thing. Have we got that decorum? Have we got that civility? Have we got that dignity? Have we got that gentility? Have we got that demeanor? Have we got that orderliness to come and stand in public, or to look into the mirror and ask ourselves that change that we want? Who do we want to change? Do we want to change ourselves, or do we want to change something that we cannot change? Today, I can sit here comfortable and speak to you boastfully that I said more than 3 years ago that most of you who hijacked a fight that some of us, very few of us, not more than 20, since 1985, we used to fight for our educational system and our legal problems. I can sit today and be boastful and be proud of myself that I've maintained that fight without pointing hands at other Cameroonians that they are responsible for our problems. All my life, the issue that I have been fighting as a non-violent activist lies down in the fact about our establishment. It's rather unfortunate that for the last 4 years, this mission have been hijacked. Some people have come and they have rebranded us as Anglophone, Francophones, a colonial culture that have failed for the last 60 years. Most of these people, they started reading the book at the last page instead of starting from the beginning. They have talked about fighting for independence. I don't know what independence they are talking about. They have talked about restoration. I don't know what restoration they are talking about. Little do they know that for those of us who started reading the book from the first page, we know how to put pressure on the government to bring changes, which I call small, catchy monkey. They wanted a quick fix. They used their knee-jerk reaction. And I told them that they will go around the world in 80 days and they will come back to where I am today. These people follow the money. They have no conviction. They have no principle. Where there is the money, you see them running there. While I appreciate that some people are dropping their arms so that when I mean we, those invisible majority, those people who said no more than 3 years ago to use arms against our own people, those people who said no, there was no both sides, as some of these hijackers call themselves, both sides, government and them. We said no. There is the third party, the civilians, of which I've always been champion of the civilians, because we, the civilians, are majority. I've said no several times. They say both sides should talk, both sides should negotiate. But they did not know that we, the civilians. We are the majority. We have spoken time and again that if you want to go and fight, go and fight the government in A2D. We are not part of your fight. And they talk about both sides. They have forgotten that we, the majority, the sovereign people, we can decide to change our government anytime, any day. These nitwits, these ignoramus, they thought they were the Alpha and the Omega. They show no mercy to Sakwe, who was beheaded in Guzang market. They were clapping. They want to be peace ambassador today. The thing will sit and look without them paying for this heinous crime. They show no mercy to Mola Itambi when Mola Itambi was assassinated in Mankon. This man who was married to a Mankon woman, they showed no mercy. Yet they want to come and talk as peace ambassador today. They show no mercy for Mola Ndile, who was a retired colonel in the Cameroon army. Yet they want to come and teach us about peace ambassador today. They show no mercy for Chief Mola Mbanda, an innocent man who have no power to control that country. Yet they want to come and tell us about peace ambassador today. They show no mercy for Lydia, a poor woman who had no power. The woman was killed like a rat running across the street. And today they want to come and tell us about peace ambassador. My message to you, those who have sponsored, aid and abet terrorism, look, if you stop, just keep quiet. Don't come and talk about peace because you have hurt some of us. When my name was included in your SCACU for government, I told you to remove it more than 3 years ago. I say, look, I'm somebody who used pressure to make the government to change, to give us Boya University, multipartism, GCE board, tripartite, special statute. That's how I fight. I've been doing that all my life. I'm not part of your game. People who don't respect human life. Awa was killed. Is it somewhere in Northwest? Is it yesterday or today? We will never forget. Most of you think the government is the Alpha and the Omega. No, it's us, the civilians. The government can forgive you people, but we, the civilians of Cameroon, will never forgive you. We are ready to fight. We are talking from behind. We are building the steam. And when we explode, Cameroon will change forever. We are not fighting to go and talk with the government of Cameroon. The government is a government. The civilians, the people are the sovereign. The government, some of you think, is the most powerful people. We have seen what happened in Sudan, Algeria, Burkina Faso. The day the people will decide that we want change, all of us will walk to A2D. We are not going to take arms. The government is there to protect our civilians. The government have not been doing that. Instead, we are getting rumors upon rumors of backdoor deals with people who kidnap pastors, kill people in Munyenge, people who went about in Guzang, killing civilians in Guzang, people who go about in Bui, Bali, Nyonga, killing our own civilians. Those are the people the government want to talk about. I say no, no, no. We will never sit with these people. We will never talk with them. And I expect the government to do what I told them to do, to create a peace and reconciliation committee or commission, which is about the victims, not about terrorists. These people are committing crime in the Western country. The government have never attempted to deport them or to hire lawyers to make sure that these people are paid for their heinous crime. We don't care about back deals. Swiss talk. Why should a Muzungu, a white man, want to decide about my future? The people who enslave us, the people who colonize us, the people who promoted apartheid in Africa. No, no, no. It won't work. We, the civilians, we are the majority. And when the time will come, I've been preaching to the government that what we need is ethno-cultural democracy, going back to who we are, what we were before these white people came to our country. We were already existing. I don't see myself sitting on one table with people who will go around trying to destroy Sonara because it's only about them. People who want to obliterate Pamol. People who want to annihilate CDC. I don't see myself sitting on one table for the rest of my life with these people. These people have destroyed souls. They have destroyed life. They have never been fighting the government. And to me, I've seen all this time, there's nothing like Anglophone problem. It's a cultural problem. And that's why we came up with ethno-cultural democracy. We were living peacefully with our entities, our culture in different communities without disturbing other people. Democracy is about recognizing these different entities. Let everybody live in their constituency, respect their tradition and culture. Other people should not go somewhere and impose their culture on other people. That's why we are having this commotion in Cameroon today. Why should a white man define us in Africa? Why? Why? There is nothing like Portuguese Rio dos Cameros. I said it long ago. There is nothing like German Rio dos Cameros. Nothing like French Rio dos Cameros. Nothing like English Rio dos Cameros. We have two-side collars. The same people who are working for the government, they sponsor this cartel to attack the government. And the government is not serious. We saw the audio. We heard the audio. We listened to the audio when Lake Mbanda was talking about contributing for people to attack a government that he was vice chairman of the National Assembly. Today I haven't listened to the audio. Other people from Akwaya Manu who are working with the government, they're asking to attack. I'm not saying the government is perfect. My solution is that we don't agree. We are a heterogeneous society. We should allow people to develop themselves. We have budget in our country. Take that money, give it to each tribe, let them decide on what they want to do. Somebody cannot sit in a 2D and be deciding for the whole country. You even appoint wash night. You appoint everybody. How do you know those people? It can't work that way. And if the government doesn't acknowledge my proposal about ethno-cultural democracy, because you want to centralize power to please the de facto president of Cameroon, Macron, I think we are heading towards a direction that will regret it. The reason sometimes I'm soft with the government, because I know the government, they have no choice. Because if the government want to change everything instantaneously, what happened to Sankara will happen to the government of Cameroon. That's why sometimes I'm soft, because I know the geopolitics. That's why I'm a product of small catchy monkey. So once more, I'm telling the government, all these back deals or what, you're meeting people to what, peace cannot come in Cameroon without people facing justice. These people who have killed our civilians, if you try to talk with them, will rise up. We are the people. And when we rise up, we are not going to stay abroad. We'll come to Cameroon. We are not rising up with guns, but we'll come and stand and sleep in front of a 2D until the government will change. People cannot be in your government. They are sponsoring terrorism. You don't deal with it. You keep quiet. The job of the government is to protect the territorial integrity, which include your people. Our people have been killed by this cartel. They live abroad for more than 3 years. You have done nothing, Mr. Government. You have done nothing. You people cannot sell Africa. You cannot sell our country. I keep quiet because I understand what's going on. I know the France-Afrique mafia. That's why sometimes I don't like to criticize you, the government, too much. Because I know. But it's time. We collectively should tell these people it's time they have to quit. They have to leave our country. We want to come back to our country. We want to live in our country. We have the resources. We can develop our country, create jobs for our country. We cannot take Sonel, which is Nyon now. Water company, everything, you give it to foreigner. They take the money away. Give it to Cameroonians. No foreigners who is not a Cameroonian should not have more than 30% of any business. So once more, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. This has been a party political broadcast by Maitre Mola Alex Nivelising. I wish you well. Stay safe.